Good. Well, my name is Shekinah Simeona Lee. I know y'all been getting a lot of emails from me, but I appreciate everybody coming. I'm glad it was such a good turnout. It was such a good turnout, we had to make 2 different types of events. Every time I feel like I, meet an Aggie woman, I feel like I meet excellence, right? And every time clock it, right? Clock it. So I'm the Director of Student Professional Development here in COBE. That's a very long title to basically say that I, work with the women specifically in COBE to be the best versions of themselves, right? So I'll teach the FRST course in the fall, all the different programming, the different things, mentorship, connecting you and connecting the dots with different people who might be integral in your journey while you are here for 3 or 4 years. That's in essence my role, right? So when you think about just like, man, I have a question. I don't really know exactly where to go with a term. Maybe Miss Shekinah knows, right? Feel free to come. I'm just down the hall, Merrick 145. So make sure you stop by. But back to what I was saying before, every time I think of an Aggie woman, I think of excellence. And as I was trying to get to know a lot of you all here, I was like, what would be like a really cutesy, demure type of event where it really exuded that excellence that I see in all of you all. And I've only been here a month, but it's something that's a little bit different, something that you can kind of like, unwind, put your hair down, talk to one another, engage, and be in a networking type of space. Doesn't need to take all day, but it still kind of gets the job done, right? Again, I was like, y'all deserve real glass. Y'all deserve a little honey stick, right? So if you want some honey in your tea, there's also sugar there, and then of course all the variety of teas that are here. But this space really is something monthly that we're gonna do. Every month is gonna have a different theme, and the theme is gonna focus on whatever we wanna focus on for that time. And again, this is very much so y'all space. So if it's something that you wanna recommend, like, hey, I feel like this month we should really talk about X, Y, and Z, let me know. We've already solidified our dates for March and April, so put that on your calendar. You'll get a lot of emails, so you don't even need to put on your calendar, but just kind of putting that out in the atmosphere. But today we're going to basically talk amongst ourselves. The big thing about what I'm doing here, I want to know what you all are really wanting to do in COBE as women. Like, what are the different topics that y'all want to talk about? I have some prompt version questions on these little sheets of paper that you can talk amongst your group and kind of, engage with one another at your table. And then on the back, we'll do that probably about halfway through. There are some more reflective questions for you to think about how you're going to be for the rest of the semester. So we're going to, do a little bit, some prompting questions on the back. I hope you all have a pencil or pen and just write on it a little bit so we can, you can go through that like type of personal exercise. But just to kind of start off, definitely go ahead and grab tea. We have plenty of hot water. There are so many different types of teas. Celestial is a really good brand, and there's some other cute little items as well. Look at the bubble questions and talk amongst your group about different things that's on that front part of the page. And then in about 30, 40-ish minutes, we'll talk about some of the personal questions on the back. Does anybody want to share what they talked about on the side with the bubbles as a group so we can talk a little bit, chit chat a little bit amongst everybody?
So your integrity is like your values and morals itself, right? So when you go into a professional setting, you should carry those values and morals, but also be able to show how you can handle things professionally and handle things respectfully and responsibly.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, like what you said, how we present ourselves, I'm in a class where it teaches us about business communications and etiquette. And it was like a hot take that we kind of had with our teacher, but he's not African American. So it's like I understood his perspective, but when he was telling us how we should present ourselves at interviews and stuff, it was like how my hair is right now, it was like a no, like push it back, put it in a ponytail. And it's like, sometimes I don't really agree with stuff like that, but I do understand that maybe if my hair is pushed back, you might take me more serious. But if I just wanted to pop in here with the flexi rod afro, like, what's wrong with that?
I feel like that is definitely one of the conversations that everybody is like, definitely talk to a woman about that, talk to a woman about that, because I feel like it's this weird line that you have to toe because we all want money. So it's like how much of myself am I going to give up for money? And how much of like who I am is going to be compromised. I used to grow up in a lot of white spaces, and I felt like I was always assimilating to get by. And as uncomfortable as it was, I also didn't want to be ostracized. So I feel like even when you are coming into spaces, interviews or corporate America or whatever you decide to do after you leave A&T, it's still like you're remembering, how do I assimilate, right? But like, I don't want to assimilate. But to a certain extent, you have to give a little bit. So it's really, really tough. That's one of those things that we could talk about all day, all night, especially as it pertains to like hair, your makeup, if you have like cultural identity where you want to wear like certain type of earrings, or if you want to like, it's so many different things that we can talk about. That's a very complicated one. Anybody want to add to that? Because that's just very loaded.
Or what makes you, how should a black girl talk? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times that stems from like stereotypes, or it really just stems from stereotypes that they have of us. And I think when we get into these spaces where it's like, now we're getting too black, challenge it then. Like, what makes me too black to where I can't stand or sit in this space that I work hard for, that I earn, that I'm supposed to be here? Like, what makes, you know? So just, I feel like if you challenge it, oftentimes that will kind of like, you know, because what's your answer? Because it's only going to stem from stereotypes.
That really got me thinking about like code switching and things like that. And like I love politics. I'm an econ major. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Leslie. And I love the way that like Representative like Jasmine Crockett, I think is her last name, speaks and how she handles herself and things like that. Because she does it with integrity, and she is, you know, she's a Congress member. So there's pretty much, that's the epitome of how professional and how much of your identity you want to bring into that. Because I hear her speak, and I think I haven't really heard members of Congress, whether they be like AOC or Latino Americans or from other ethnicities, speak so comfortably, or how I would talk to anybody else here, if that makes sense.
I do like that too.
I feel like at the same time, like, you know, microaggressions are thrown around so often, and sometimes we're a little desensitized to them, and we don't necessarily like see them or hear them, or we notice like 10 minutes later, I'm like, wait, they really just said that. Like, wait a minute, like it just didn't process. And a lot of times they're trying to put us in a bubble. They're trying to isolate ourselves. When we had our leadership program, we were with Toyota, I think it was last or 2 weeks ago. One of the things that was said was they know how valuable they are, but they hope that you don't. Right. And so that's so important, because a lot of those times when they're saying those things, they're trying to get us to look within and look at ourselves differently, and then start operating differently, because they brought you, especially in a corporate space, if they're saying things like that, they brought you in knowing who you were. So now that you're questioning me, you're trying to make me change myself so that now I'm no longer up to par to what you wanted when I got here. And so it's things of that nature. Like sometimes they're saying those things to us because they want to scare us and push us down so they can get rid of us. But you were let in being who you were. You were let in because you interviewed, you applied. It's not like you were just a random person they selected. They knew who you were when you went in. And so if you start changing yourself because they're getting in your head, not only are you allowing them to win, but you're also making yourself lose. So,
Also, I feel like we should normalize letting people sound dumb and making people sound dumb. Like, I feel like people kind of tread around things, like kind of how you were saying, like when you challenge things, like really make people think about their thoughts. I love saying this to people. If you would have taken 5 minutes of extra thought, we might not even be having this whole conversation. So I feel like really questioning people's thoughts and like, so this, you think that that's rooted in this, and that makes sense. Like repeating things back to people, making like, say that back to me, like stuff like that. Even talking to people like they're children. Like, I feel like once you express to me, because I feel like acting in stereotypes, like we can't be on the same level of intelligence for you to be looking at me and telling me I'm not equal to you because I'm black or I'm a woman. Clearly, you don't understand how biology works. Our brains are the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's not much difference here. So I feel like in that sense, like once people kind of show you who you are, you kind of have to, you can push back with a little bit more, I feel like, I don't want to say a condescending tone, but like, know who you are. Like, it's like, you're not going to talk to me like I'm stupid. Like, you're the one here who's more intelligently inclined here. Like, is it me or is it you? Like, let's really questions.
Just
take time out of your day and really reflect, they start to look at me like, oh, so you think you're better than me? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe you should really rethink about what you said. And then once that happens, a lot of doors have opened for me because it's like, oh, you're actually smarter than I thought, which I also think it goes into the stereotype of like sometimes Black women don't really know what they're talking about or things like that, I've been told. So I would definitely say if you start doing that, people will definitely put you on a higher pedestal, what they already should be doing anyways. But you know, you can't control what people do, but definitely do that and you'll see how many times people will be like, oh, so you think you're better than me? And it's kind of shocking.
As I'm going up and advancing, like, the battles become bigger, and I'm just trying to learn how to not, like, yes, I do understand challenging, but, well, no, I agree. But I'm at a point where it's like, I feel like I can't prove to people my worth. I just have to let the proof show in the pudding. Is that the saying? Is that how it goes? Yeah, let my work show. Yeah, like that's the point that I'm at now. Like, cause I've been tested. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know if y'all experience this. Nobody be talking about it in college, but people be testing me. Like they be testing me, and I can't, and I don't. I would like react or like side eye and do all that, but like now I'm really realizing like my work be shutting people up. Like nobody be saying nothing to me now. They can't say nothing to me because they see my work, and whoever do, they look stupid because everyone is saying, yo, Bianca be doing her thing, da da da. Like nobody can say nothing. So really, like I believe in God. Really focus on God. That really helped me, and like forget what people say. Like the devil be throwing distractions for real. Like focus on, let your work show for itself for real. Like that'll shut people up quick. So yeah.
We just have to have that self-motivation, that self-awareness about ourselves and who we are and who we deem our character as. And once we do that, like nothing can stop us, nothing can deter us from that path that God placed us on and stuff like that. So we really just have to be confident in who we are and stuff. And we can't let family, friends, outside stereotypes, societal stereotypes, we can't let that breed a label on us and tell us this is who we are, because the only person who could dictate who we are is ourselves. So I just want to say that.
What helped me develop my skills. And to that, honestly, I suggest to everyone, get involved in stuff you might not even consider. Like just even stuff like this. I feel like anything can help develop your skills. Any position, any role where you're talking to people, listening to other people's mindsets is a great way to just get uncomfortable in the uncomfortable. Like just really learning from other people. You can develop so many skills you didn't know you had or need to learn. Like even in A&T, like at A&T in general, the stuff I've done, like I'm part of the COBE leadership development team. That talking to other people about leadership, how that affects you as a person and how your leadership style affects other people, it just helps you learn so much more about yourself, how you lead, how you talk to other people, and how that affects everything. So getting involved in stuff like that, looking through those emails, there'll be opportunities in them emails left and right, y'all. Like you just have to find it. And so for me, I feel like when it comes to like leadership roles or organizations, I'm not going to give you a specific leadership role or organization. I don't have to tell you to be the president of anything. You don't even need an e-board position to be involved at this school. I just say take every opportunity that comes to you, apply to everything. You're going to get a lot of yeses. You're going to get a lot of no's, but just keep going. I just feel like it's nothing in particular. Just put yourself out there, and I feel like it will develop every skill you need in a book. So,
going off of what Raina said, I had said this at the table over there. My biggest suggestion, especially for freshman students, is please don't join more than 3 organizations in the very beginning. And my formula has always been the first organization be something that is towards like your major, right? So it could be SWB, it could be Toastmasters, it could be something very specific to whatever your specific major is. The second thing, it'd be something like that feels you, right? Like, so I love to sing, so if it was like an a cappella group, gospel choir, something like that, like at the end of the day, I love to do this. So I'm going to do it for myself, right? That's the second thing. And the third thing, I always say do something in service of other people. So whether that is an organization that is like, I think we were talking about backpacks for new beginnings or something like that, or whatever the organization is, Habitat for Humanity, whatever it is, like, and then that way you're not inundated, but you're kind of hitting different things, both academically and emotionally, and also professionally, right? That will do something for you, but you're not staying stagnant. So that's been my formula for people too, as you go to different organizations.
I just wanted to touch on like what she said about like you're gonna hear a lot of yeses and a lot of nos. I think the biggest pill I had to swallow during my college to career journey is no. It sounds very spoiled bratish, but like I love things going my way. If I have control over it, I would love it to go my way. So when I came here and it didn't, oh my God, like it took so much out of me. And I think my parents a lot, because my dad really helped me understand that like a no isn't like you going backwards. It's not about you. It doesn't matter, because like kind of what you said up there, like you were qualified, like you went through that process. So them just saying no, it's not me going back. I'm still at the same place I was. So I think that is like, I don't know if it was just me, but coming to college and hearing no, and like my whole life I was hearing yes, and like I have the mentality of like anything I set my mind to I can do, or I don't walk in with like a little, like if I'm applying for something, if I'm ready to do something, I'm applying for it because I know I can do it and I can do it better. So don't get discouraged. That's something I would say. It's still something I'm learning. Don't get discouraged. Don't take that no as like the biggest L, and like still push forward. And I feel like, yeah, that's all I had to say though.
Just because it's no now doesn't mean it's going to be no ever. Like I would always say, like if you get a no and you really want to do, I don't know, like an internship for a company, always try again. Because no now, it just might not be God's timing for it to happen now. You can always try again next time. So I think also I've been learning to take no lightly and just keep going and trying again. So.
A lot of y'all who were probably big fish in small ponds in your respective places. Yeah. And then like, my thing is this, we all had to have a certain GPA to get here anyway. So you're competing with people who are also in the top of their high school. So it's like, it is a humbling experience because you get here and you're like, I'm not as special as I thought I was. Let me work. But to Bianca's point, like let your work show for it, right? Like let your work show for it. I want y'all to keep talking. We're gonna keep talking, but I really wanna get feedback, okay? So that QR code, keep talking, but don't leave here and you don't scan that little QR code. Thank you. And also Dr. Morgan is here. I feel like a couple people had mentioned your name as I was talking. Yeah, in a good way. Yes, in a good way. So Dr. Morgan's here. She wants to say something.
These ladies, you all did a beautiful job of setting up this space for this special Sisters Tea. I believe in this power of the sense of belonging. So I actually am a graduate of Spelman College. So this kind of just brings that back to me, just the power of women supporting other women. Don't lose this, continue to carry this forward. And I love what you all are saying about the power of yet, right? That is actually important work by a researcher named Carol Dweck. And what she did was she did research with students to talk about the impact of words. And so students were given a task, but before they were given the task, one set of students were told, you are so smart. You're so smart. And when they took that test, it was meant to be challenging and above them, they didn't do well. And it really landed on them in a very negative way. But other students were told, you are really growing. I just love the way that you're improving and that you're trying to be better each and every day. When they took that test, and the test was hard, they weren't really meant to do well, they digested those results differently. They felt like, I'm going to do better next time, right? So really understanding that power of yet, right? That you're still climbing, you're still growing. That's why you're here, right? So when students come into the college and we're interviewing them, I really am listening for that power of yet. Like I'm happy with where I am, but I'm looking to come to North Carolina A&T to grow, right? And to get better. So just remember that as you get to those little stumbling blocks or those no's, so to speak, they're really just one step forward, right, in your growth process. So happy to see you guys. I'm on the 4th floor. If you ever need to stop by for whatever reason, right, I see Miss Avani over there, please do.
Being told no by anybody when it comes to, like, I don't know, I'm attached to my mom, so her telling me no breaks my heart every time, promise you. So I always told, like, my dad would always tell me, no isn't a stopping place. It just means you have to find another way to get it. And I feel like that's one of the main things that's helped me to not give up on certain things. Like, okay, I can't do it this way, but there's a million ways you can get one thing done. You just have to find out which one works for you. And just because it worked for somebody else doesn't mean, okay, it worked for them, let me try that exact same way. And if it doesn't work for me, then I just can't do it. Like, it just means there is another way for you to do it. And if it's not meant for you, then it's not meant for you. You'll find something else that is. But that was it.
And I also think your delivery and what you were saying, Raina, it also, as a woman, and I feel like we have to like acknowledge this. As women, Black women, women of color, it's other caveats. So the way that we express ourselves is going to be perceived in different ways depending on the crowd. So we have to kind of be like ninjas in the way that we are in different spaces. If you know you're in like all white spaces, if you know you're in this type of space, you have to maneuver, but also like always be listening. And I feel like Avani pointed out something like sometimes like people might subconsciously like play you or like say something you like, I didn't even realize that was like a dig, right? But like always be thinking, always be listening, always be observing other people and what's kind of going on, because that will definitely help you in the long run too. And I feel like when I was talking about how you perceive mentorship, I know we were talking about that before in one of those tables. I feel like your mentor is also really good at helping you with different spaces as you navigate, right? So if your mentor is in like a new organization, they could kind of be like that inside ears of like, this is normally how people act in this kind of setting. Again, not to like lose any element of yourself, but that's powerful information to be like, okay, this is how they talk when it's more upper level leadership. This is how so you're always doing this like Olympics type of game in your head to make sure that you're really being perceived in the way you want to be perceived. It was this really strong exercise that one of my supervisors did that I would tell you all to do at some point in time in your 4 years here. Ask like 2 professors who you've had at least once or twice, and ask like a good friend and maybe like someone else that you know in your 4 years, how do they perceive you, right? Ask them some really good questions, ask ChatGPT, and then you'll see how you're being perceived by other people. And that's really powerful because sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't know I come off like a little cocky. I didn't realize I come off like that. Like, and when I did that exercise, I felt like it was mostly good things, but it was definitely things like, oh, I didn't know that I made people feel like that in that space. And I feel like that's powerful. I definitely think you should do that exercise.